Hello，大家好啊！好耐冇見呢。你好，你好好住先啊，好好住先啊。撚係呢個濕鳩蘇凡點解永撚遠都唔撚喐嘅咧？唉屌！唉屌！人哋升撚咗啦，唉，撈唔到嘅。唉屌！好，大家好啊，你等我陣啊。係，開始啦，我哋開始啦。Hello， 我即係屌佢老味啊！翻早都唔應該瞓覺，諗住哇屌！早放工瞓陣先，仆街！一起身，啲股全部升撚晒，冇買到。哇！成個 watch list 都，即係有陣時真係好撚戇鳩。你明明都已經估撚中㗎啦，係咪先？已經及撚住個價㗎啦嘛。跟住諗住瞓陣先，一開始就上咗10%啊！仲要係隻都上10%。邊有得咁嘅啫？妖！OK， 我哋去做呢個 Band of Bastard 嘅 DLC 啊！Look out!
Look what I've got for your love.
唔係喎，佢 Combat Trainer 幾時有埋頭像㗎？行錯路添，話主要去打 tournament 嘅喎。
God be with you, lad. What can I do for you?
Enroll in the tourney.
The big tournament. All right. As long as you've got the enrollment stake,
Sir Hanish's rule is every contestant has to put up 60 groschen.
Of course.
What's your name?
I'm Henry.
I'll make a note of that. And I need to know what weapon you choose.
長劍咯。
Longsword. I reckon it's what I'm best at.
Good. Get yourself ready. You're next in line. The first combatant will be Henry of Skalitz from the company of Sir Ransay Kubla, who will measure his skills against Pavel, called Roebuck, from the garrison of Sir Sebastian von Berg. Let us wish the combatants luck. And this very first bout will afford plenty of entertainment. We will witness a duel with longswords.
Missed.
Lost your wind.
God damn! I'm over here.
Yes。 有盾喎，有盾喎。
Our warriors will fight with hunting swords.
You. 兩下收
Victor
力。
of the second duel is Henry of Skallets. He is hereby declared the victor in this round and shall proceed to the next round.
哦，原來佢哋強行改人哋武器嘅喎，唔俾人用擅長武器嘅喎嚇。
Meeting face to face in this round will be Michael of Yanovitz, spearman of the Lords of Sternberg.
咁佢唔用 spear 啊？
Face Henry of Skallets from the company of Sarate Kubla. Welcome our warriors. All is prepared for the first duel. We will witness a duel with longswords.
好住啊！我又開咗中文輸入法，幾奇怪啊！明明都冇打字。擋遲咗。哎呀！哦。同埋佢有預設裝備俾我喎，咁啊唔算裝備撚啦，係咪？
The second bout will surely be no less exciting. This one may decide the winner. Our warriors will fight with hunting swords.
Fucking.
屌，屌劍短咁多咁唔得噶喎，咁樣。
Killed it.
The victor in this round and shall proceed to the next round. Meeting face to face in this round will be Henry of Skallets from the company of Sarate Kubla, who will measure his skills against the victor of many previous tourneys and a combatant today too, Peter, called Black Peter.
搞錯，用人哋嘅名仲叫 Black Peter。
And this very first bout will afford plenty of entertainment. We will witness a duel with longswords.
我去撈好耐先諗到下一句係講咩喎。哎呀！
Quitting. Curse it.
錯啊！簡單。
Change weapons for the second bout. Prepare to watch a fierce fight with axes and shields.
呀！哇，咁難打嘅，如果未用過斧頭。
Go ahead and gather your strength. You'll need it. Quitting?
Hấp có人哋未用斧頭。 呀！收皮啦！
Lords and ladies, good men and good wives, you have just witnessed the final duel in today's Ratai Cornet, for which we all owe gratitude to Sir Hanush of Laipa. All glory to the victor, Henry of Skalitz, man-at-arms in the company of Sir Radzik Kobila. His prize will be given to him by our gracious Sir Hanush.
佢哋竟然唔搞頒獎儀式。
You put on a hell of a show, Henry. Here's your hard-earned reward.
Thank you, Sir Hanush.
Goodbye.
又俾手痛喎。 又俾手痛喎，我頂！
I'm at your service.
等先嚇。
Vegetables, fruits, apples, cucumbers, onions. Come get them.
呢個係武器係喺邊度啊？係嗰邊賣緊啲弓嘅先。
I'm honored that you. Good luck then.
咦？哎呀，仆街！原來呢條友唔買工㗎，唔怪之我成日都揾唔到人買啦。睇先，我記得應該係喺呢度附近嘅。嗰個獵戶喺邊呢？獵戶買工啦啩？啊，唔係喎，獵戶都好似喺呢邊。唉，是但啦，是但啦，唔理佢啦。唔賣就唔賣啦。睇下 Band of Bastards 係玩咩先？濕平完之後又夜啦，翻去瞓覺啦。幾時先可以玩得晒呢個 DLC 呢？冇肚餓過，而家 Henry 已經係鐵人嚟嘅啦。如果瞓覺嘅話，佢係唔會肚餓；如果唔喐，佢係唔會肚餓嘅。咁我就喺呢度過橋。
Piece of shit. Hand over that purse right now and you might get away in one piece. You wouldn't be the first or the last. Yeah. Nick? Come here, lily liver. Yeah. What's the matter?
哎呀，唔記得撳掣添。哇！佢就喺呢條友竟然輸咗偷襲我喎！哇！屌！咁撚柒嘅，佢明明已經輸撚咗一次嘅嘞喎，佢輸咗仲要喺路邊偷襲喎，戇鳩啊！ 我心諗邊個咁夠薑？屌你老味喺處手屋企門口嗰度搞偷襲，唔得啊！成件事真係好撚戇鳩。啊！斬唔斷嗰條繩，咁我隻馬點過去啊？就咁過到嘅，咁都好啲。Who knows camp?
I'll be with you. I'm looking for a Sakuno. Sakuno? Baron Rickvold. Isn't this his camp?
You won't get nothing out of him. You must be Radzig's man. I heard he was supposed to send someone.
Yes, Sir Radzig sent me as a guide. I'm Henry.
I'm Jakey. And this here fella, we call the Stone.
I can see why. What's up with him? Cat got his tongue?
No, more like the dog got it. The executioner's dog. When the executioner ripped it out of him. Anyway, you better come along with me. I'll introduce you to the other fellas. And the chief. These here are the Bearman brothers, Petter and Jan. They're a barrel of laughs, except when they're too drunk to string two words together. Like now. Don't get on the wrong side of them, though. When their blood is up, well, it ain't a pretty sight.
Pleased to make your acquaintance, I'm sure.
Never mind the fancy poses, Stefan. You're trying to kill the fucker, not teach him how to dance. And you, Dangler, stand your ground. Don't let him lead you round by the nose.
Sir? Well, sir, this is Henry. From Lord Kobler.
Ah, it's about time Radzig got around to this. We need someone who knows their way around these parts. Leave off with the bowing and curtsying. We don't hold with that tomfoolery here. Jakey! Where the hell are you sneaking off to? Go to the farm and get water. The lads are thirsty.
But I went last time.
And you'll go next time, you ungrateful pup. Get your ass moving. Snot-nosed brat. You put them out of a pile of shit. And they thank you with back talk. Where were we? Oh yeah. We need a guide who knows these parts. So I hope I can rely on you, Herman.
It's Henry.
Right. As I said to Radzig, I don't want to carry any dead weight. We could find ourselves in some very tight situations where every sword counts.
I know how to handle a sword, all right?
I've heard a lot of fellas say that. They still ended up on the wrong end of one. We'll find out. Stefan, take a break. Dangler, let's find out what Harold here can do.
Henry 啊
Sure.
Henry 啊
Chief.
Henry 練到而家呢個地步，應該都冇咩人打贏佢噶啦。 仲要係裝備撚添，係咪先？就算頭先唔係裝備撚都嘅公平競賽都。直接打動頭，拜拜。
I must say, you can ride with us.
All right, good. Thanks.
Don't thank me yet. You don't know what you're letting yourself in for.
我未睇啊，琴日瞓咗啊，冇睇蕭山咧。我喺呢度追2日。
Sir Kuno, can you tell me something about yourself?
Drop the sir. That title brought me nothing but grief. But what do you want to know?
Sir Radzig told me the Rickvold family lost its wealth. How did that happen?
There's all sorts of ways to become impoverished. Nothing easier. Especially when your father's a fool. And your mother's mad as a bat.
Oh.
But it's a long and twisted story. We took our name from Rickvald Castle. But that actually belonged to the convent of the Poor Clares in Tynitz. And my father only leased it. You see, he knew the abbess there since they were young. Knew her very well. There was even talk that she only joined the order because her family wouldn't let her marry him. Anyway, whether he was fucking her right there in the convent, or he just took a lot of interest in scripture, he spent an awful lot of time in Tynitz.
Oh, you might have been after a bit of both.
Sinning and confessing all in one place. Well, I can see the convenience of it. Anyway, my mother never had strong nerves.
蕭山係老細嚟啊，帶貓翻去吸冇乜所謂啦。
Shaky. Pa's escapades drove her cuckoo entirely. Then, one frosty December morning, I was woken by screaming and smoke. I looked out the window. I saw my mother there, in the courtyard, wreathed in flames. Behind her, the stables, the farm buildings and the tower were burning too. And she just stood there, shrieking with laughter.
Christ. That sounds like a scene straight out of hell.
Hellish it was, I can tell you. Me and my sister Adela and a few servants managed to get out before the whole place went up. I couldn't get to my father. Or my little brother. Poor lad was only 7. My sister and I were left destitute after the fire. Then my cousin, Adam of Drevich, took us into his castle. A few weeks later, he offered to buy what was left of our estates and sell me a small fortress near a Kovnik. It was a great relief. We suddenly had some hope of a future again. So I told my sister about it. And it was the biggest mistake of my life. A week later, the two of them announced to me they were getting married. And all that was left of our estates, lands, woods, villages, Adela was to get it all as a dowry.
But surely that was for you to decide. You were the head of the family, right?
Aye. Only I barely had 17 years under my belt, and I'd just lost everything. Of course, I argued with them, and that was the only excuse they needed to kick me out of Drevich too.
That's pretty harsh.
You're telling me. But I'm not complaining. As my pa always used to say, if you can turn your hand to something, you'll never be lost. I doubt it ever crossed his mind how often I'd remember those words.
成件事真係七上加七。
What about your debt to Sir Radzig? How did that come about?
A twist of fate, lad. I was fighting in the hostilities between the House of Schallenberg and the town of Colleen. Some trade dispute it was, and I fought under the Schallenberg colours. In the end, the two sides negotiated a truce, and I rode to Colleen with the delegation that was to parley there. We stopped off at an inn on the way, and it was there that I met Radzig Kobyla. I could tell at first sight he was a man after my own heart. A likeable rogue, with a sharp mind and a merry soul. We spent the whole night drinking together and talking, and in the morning we set off together, with sore heads, but in good temper, since he was travelling the Colleen same as I was. Only, once we reached the city gates, they arrested me on the spot. Seems the burgers had it in for me, since I've been making their lives hell for a good 6 months. On the other hand, I was a member of the peace delegation, so by rights, they shouldn't have even looked at me sideways. And then it hit me why Radzig was there. Colleen is a royal city, so he was there to represent the king's interests.
I see. So he was on the other side.
That's right. Anyway, they threw me in a dungeon, and a few days later, word reached me that the Schallenbergs had reached an agreement with the burgers. Only part of the deal was they would give them my head. And I'd surely have ended my days swinging from the town battlements if it hadn't been for Radzig. He liked me, and he could see it was a dirty trick, so he somehow squared things with the city council.
Lucky for you.
Indeed. I owe my life to Radzig, and I'll never forget it. He's asked me twice before for help. This is the third time, and how could I refuse him?
I'd like to ask about your men.
Ask away.
What about the fellow they call Dangler?
I've never ridden with a better man, I can tell you. He doesn't say a lot, but for that, he listens all the better. Nothing escapes him.
So he scouts for you?
Not just that. It's happened more than once. I was closing a deal with someone, and Dangler told me after that he didn't like the smell of the fella nearly every time he was right. And the fellow tried to stab me in the back afterwards.
Those Behrman brothers are quite a pair.
Indeed they are. There's no more mercy in them than in, well, a bear. If I told them to skewer you on the spot, they'd do it, without batting an eyelid.
Jesus.
Oh, aye. They'd argue first about which one of them got to do the job. But they're as obedient as a huntsman's dogs. Real soldiers, a pair of them. Reliable, as long as they don't get too drunk. Then there's no keeping them under control. But nobody's perfect.
What can you tell me about Stefan?
Fletching. For one thing, he's a very resourceful fellow.
How did he come to join your band?
Well, let's just say he was in the right place at the right time. You'll find he has quite a knack for that.
What exactly happened?
Sorry, I'd love to tell you the whole story, but I'd be betraying his trust.
Oh, now you've got me curious. Maybe I should ask him myself.
Sure, why not? Our Fletch does love to converse.
What about that dumb one? How did he end up with you?
The stone? Oh, he just kind of tagged along.
Just like that?
Aye, just like that. We were riding from Olomouc to a castle past Kladsko, when we ran into him and some other wayfarers camping along the way. You know how it goes. We made acquaintance with them, had a drink or two. Then we travelled on together. After all, there's safety in numbers.
I'm not sure I'd be thinking that if I ran into you lot on the road.
We might have done some things I ain't proud of. But wayfarers are sacred even for me. Anyway, our fellow travellers dropped off along the way. One in Mohelnitz, one in Schoenberg, and the rest in Kladsko. Except for the stone. He stuck with us the whole way. The fellas kept asking him what he was after. But of course he never said a word. When we were approaching Barsdorf, I ordered the men to get rid of him. I had some business at the castle, and I didn't want any strangers sticking their noses in. Stefan tried to tell him nicely, but he just sat there, staring like he was turned to stone. That's when we gave him the name. Then the Behrman brothers tried to get him off his horse. He booted Jan in the face and knocked him out cold. Then he jumped down and felled Petter with one punch. A man who can do that is a man you want on your side. So we kept him.
Weren't you worried about having a stranger in your band? Especially one who didn't talk.
No, I figured if he can't talk, he can't tell. Besides, I've had worse.
What about Jakey?
Jakey, that boy will be the death of me. You've got to be tough on him, or he's good for nothing. But I'm fond of him, in a way.
Like a son?
I wouldn't go that far. But I've no family of my own. And unlike those other cutthroats, he seems to me like a good lad.
Well, you're pretty hard on him, though. And the others keep him on his toes, too.
The boy needs a firm hand. I was like him once, and I got the same too. If we let him be, we'd end up with a third bear man. And who'd want that?
True. 2 is more than enough. Should we ride out?
Aye, we ought to set out on patrol about now. Hope you've got your kit ready and whatnot. I'd like to head to the north. Is there anything interesting that way?
North of here, Samapesh and Merhoyed are that way, and Talmberg is a bit further on. There's stables in Merhoyed.
I wouldn't mind paying a visit to those stables. We can go through there.
And from there?
From there, we'll follow our noses. Something interesting is sure to turn up. I feel it in my bones. Mount up and let's go.
Sure. Chief.
佢唔使我自己行㗎係嘛？冇要我自己行喎，大佬。最憎跟住啲馬一齊跑喎。有冇咁多人啊？1、2、3、4、5，哦，7個人啱啊！
What a fine day, eh, brother?
Indeed, brother.
You know what I like best about days like this, Jan?
The scent of chamomile wafting from the hillsides.
Among other things.
Ah, like the rounded hills, rising, purpling, all soft and pink in the sunlight.
And the fertile valley below, spreading wide and inviting.
Dew glistening in a mossy hollow.
The sweet aroma of honey in the air.
The sturdy poplar, standing tall and erect.
Aye, it reminds me of that day. That day where the two of us fucked Fletcher's ma.
Very droll. You'd make a stuffed bird laugh.
Your ma's a stuffed bird. I stuffed her myself.
I can't smell any chamomile.
Well, men, how are things?
May I?
Yes, Fletch?
How shall I put it? I'm a little concerned about the prospects in these parts, Chief.
Oh? How's that?
I've been looking around, and if you'll pardon me, it seems to me that we've been stuck for a long time in the arsehole and beyond.
It's not Paris, France, I'll grant you.
What I mean to say is, I haven't got any new kit or arrows since the day Jakey joined us. It makes me uneasy, Chief.
I see. What about the rest of you?
I don't know what Fletcher's moaning about. There's plenty of booze and loose wenches nearby.
Not to mention fools in the taverns who don't know when to stop rolling those dice.
Dangler?
It's the arsehole of beyond everywhere we go. It always makes me uneasy.
Jakey?
Fletch can complain. I was supposed to get a suit of armor, and all I got was a shitty kettle hat.
Sorry, but they don't do hauberks in girls' sizes.
Oh? Well, how did you get yours then?
All right, I appreciate your honesty, lads. Don't worry, there will be plunder. We're here to fight. To the victor the spoils. That's how it's always been. But no purse of silver will shed blood for you on the battlefield. That's what this company is for. And I hope you never forget the golden rule. You can joke all you want, moan all you want, but nothing will keep your skins in one piece better than trusting your leader, who you choose by your own free will. So don't ever forget that.
Amen.
Chief, I think there's something going on over there.
Let's go. Behind me and keep your eyes peeled.
我仲要帶埋隻狗去 join 人哋添。點解佢哋可以打咁耐交都冇錢？我都係得閒殺下人啫嘛，成萬幾蚊喺身，我諗應該以佢哋呢個物價嘅話，我覺得城堡都買得到噶啦。
Russian, hidden in a piss pot under the bed. Nice chunk of beef. No one there will be eating.
On account of it'd just fall out through the holes in their bellies, eh, brother?
My mouth is already watering, brother, and I ain't even touched a purse yet.
Once you get your hands on some loot, I'll be happy to play you for your hard-earned groschen back at the camp.
Poor old Fletch. Never gets to see the action from close up.
What about you, Dangler? What do you expect to find?
Futility and human suffering, like always.
Always full of good cheer, eh, Dangler? Why don't you take a leaf out of Stone's book? Shut the fuck up.
Jesus, I wish you'd all shut the fuck up.
Keep your eyes peeled, though. There might be someone hiding out here still. Look for clues and question the survivors, if there are any.
Still smouldering. Whoever torched it can't have got very far. Poor wretch.
狗都死埋。使唔使寫到長篇大論啊？留低封書信啫。
Kuno will want to know about this.
House of Souls. Message for Thoracic. Thoracic Cobble. You unscrupulous beast, devoid of Christian's morale, accuse you. You abandoned all honor and virtue when you perpetrated acts of cruelty and malevolence against me and my forebears. I call you a cur for committing those vile deeds, which you certainly remember well. Ignominious wretch, unfit for the company of decent men, and I shall have your shield nailed to the pillory as a mark of shame. My grievances is only against you, but the longer you hide from me in a cowardly manner, the longer shall I maroon and plunder in this province, be it upon your own head.
Jesus Christ, what a massacre. No signs of resistance. They simply slaughtered them like animals. Looks like it happened fast. God Almighty. I found this shield in a shed along with a letter. Seems like someone left us a message.
Show me that. I know that, Chris. It's the House of Zul. A dangerous lot, God's truth. I don't think we'll find anything else here. We'll stay here a while, just in case. And you should go and report to Radzig what happened.
What do you know about these Zuls?
A family of impoverished nobles. They fought in the Margraviate Wars in Moravia. But what they're after in Bohemia, I've no idea.
I thought I could go and search for those raiders. They might not have gotten very far yet.
All right. It's always good to have an extra pair of eyes. We'll keep searching here for a while, and then head back to the camp.
Cầm quay lại. Report to Jurassic. Let's see. Try and find traces of the attacker. Wow, 無啦啦好難揾嘅喎。又唔可以又唔可以自己打。等陣先啊，佢哋係喺最近係邊度呢？呢度，Go into the woods.
Did you find any tracks?
Some, a horse or two. They rode off through the meadow towards dawn. They were avoiding the road, which is interesting.
Towards dawn?
Meaning towards the east. Apart from the mounted ones, there were some men on foot too. Well weighed down.
Well, they can't move too fast then.
No. And what's more, they left a trail of blood. One or more of them might be wounded. Either that, or they dragged off some poor bastard from here.
Nice work. Thanks.
OK， 佢哋去咗東邊，就入咗森林。 點揾到佢哋？哇！咁點揾到佢哋去邊啊？你得個吉橛仔。miss 咗啊！
Poor creature, hunted down like game.
有路咩呢度？屌啊！邊撚度有路啊？佢又唔可以。
What a waste. But at least I know which way they went.
哦，佢流好多血喎，條友。 嗰度啊！哇喺嗰度都差唔多成7個人喎。
There they are.
咁自己唔好過去啦。
Yeah.
I tracked down those raiders.
You did? Well, nice work. So where are they?
A short way to the east, in a glade in the woods. They're dividing up their loot.
How many of them are there?
About 7.
We'll see. I'll tell the lads we're going to deal with them. Nice and quiet.
Nice and quiet.
Hey, to me, now! listen up. Henry tracked down those bastards who raided the farm. They're dividing up their loot not far from here. So let's pounce on them and give them what for. Move out!
行路去 ？What the fuck？ 呢啲唔係有馬咩？呆咗。
Quiet as the grave, as the stone would say.
That's a good one. I haven't heard that one since. Let me see.
At a loss for words, are you?
Stop it, please. Or I'll split my sides laughing.
I feel sorry for the stone. Imagine not being able to insult your enemy's mother.
Ah, Big Mouth Jakey makes up for it.
I don't know how you managed without me for so long.
Who wasn't needed their back covered last time?
Jakey.
Jakey.
Fuck you. I don't need minding.
We all cover each other's backs.
Get used to it.
I've no intention of getting myself killed by a bunch of bandits who pillaged a farm for cabbage.
Well, I don't know. You might get mistaken for a cabbage yourself.
Aye, it's green enough.
I'll cover you, Jakey.
Got it? Thanks a lot, Flash.
大家不如射完箭先過去啊！但我相信唔係個個人都有弓箭。點解唔射完箭先過去啊？你明明係你發現人哋。
Jesus Christ!
It'll be all over with you two.
Bugger! 嗱，執嘢啦！哇，咁容易死嘅條友，搞錯啊！我叫咗你哋射完箭先衝過去㗎啦，唉，算啦，佢哋聽唔到噏乜嘅。邊有咁戇鳩？明明係你去主動攻人，但係又唔一齊射支箭先呢？吓？喂，堅唔堅㗎？佢哋第一場遭遇戰死晒咁滯喎。 仆街啊！我咪要重新再打過，我咪要撈翻4。唔係喎，唔係喎。唉，算啦，都係撈翻4分。我一定係因為打條友打得太耐，所以佢哋死晒。根本個戰力嘅分，根本佢同嗰啲 bandits 嘅戰力嘅分別就係我。冇事啊嘛，今次大家都冇事啊嘛。哇！真係戇撚鳩。
You know what I like best in a skirmish, Jan?
Pray tell, brother.
When there's one last fucker left. We surround him.
Hack him from all sides.
Until he falls in a bloody heap on the ground. I love that.
We ought to wager on who delivers the fatal
We'll have a look
blow.
around here
A new
for
wager. Fletch will be up for that.
clues.
We gotta do
Meanwhile,
something to spice
Henry,
things up.
you go and report
Make
to
it more
Radford.
like a proper war.
得啦
Maybe
得
if we
啦，
timed our attacks better.
我已經執晒佢哋啲屍啊嚇，你自己整啲裝着下啦
Odds up.
Aye, plans go to hell in the heat of battle.
嚇。哇！佢哋同嗰啲 bandits 嘅最大戰力分別其實就係我，屌黐撚線！一追其中一個追出去咧，全部都死晒。全部人射一箭先衝過去啲基本啦，仲要佢哋有馬嘅，人哋又冇馬嘅，成班人騎兵衝過去斬鳩佢老母啊！屌你完全都唔會受傷啦！你7個人7隻馬，係咪先？人哋得7個步兵，你衝過去斬鳩佢，佢落你咩河啊？佢走又走唔到，我都唔撚明點解佢哋要步行，然之後自己就咁步兵衝過去。箭都唔射，做乜嘢啫？哦，真係佢哋係點樣生存到而家㗎？
Good to see you, lad. Sir Hanush told me you won his tourney. Good job, Henry.
Sir, I'm afraid I have some bad news. We came across a burnt-out farm near Merliet.
Toth must have left some of his cronies behind.
And this is something else, sir. We found a shield there with a crest. A tricolour star on a blue field.
I know that coat of arms, unfortunately. It's the House of Zul.
There was a letter there, too.
Show it to me. Although I think I already know what it will say.
Here you are, sir.
Unscrupulous beast. Cruelty and malevolence. I challenge you to face me in a duel, defend your honor. Alinomius wretch. Well, that's nice. Signed, Hagen Zul. As I expected, old grievances coming back to haunt me.
This Sir Hagen wants to challenge you to a duel.
Apparently, he still hopes I will agree to this kind of outmoded solution to disputes.
But surely you can't refuse a challenge to a duel. What about your honor?
Henry, my boy, honor is a splendid thing, and it should be held in high regard. But in time, you'll learn that some matters are not so straightforward.
Like this one?
Yes, like this one. The only reason Hagen is challenging me now is that he has a marked advantage. I've served as the royal hetman for the last 15 years and become a courtier. Hagen, meanwhile, was fighting in the Margraviate Wars in Moravia, and elsewhere as a mercenary. Which of us do you think would win a duel? That's not honor, but an abuse of honor. Commonplace opportunism. I don't blame him for trying, but I'm not such a fool as to play by his rules.
What happened between you and Sir Hagen?
That's a long story.
Well, if I'm to know what I'm up against, I'll need to hear at least the gist of it.
True. All right, in a nutshell. Several years ago, I had to resolve a bloody feud between the Zuls and another family. The Zuls were clearly in the wrong, but refused to accept my ruling. So, I hanged the head of the family, razed their castle to the ground, and confiscated their property. Ever since then, they've had it in for me, not surprisingly.
But you acted in good conscience.
Yes, although in retrospect it might seem excessively harsh. And it doesn't help that the other family is related to mine.
Well, what are we going to do about this?
You and Kuno's band will just have to deal with Hagen and prevent further mayhem. The longer he's marauding around these parts, the greater the chances that I'll finally have to succumb to his conditions.
So you'd fight him, if it came to that?
Let's hope it doesn't come to that. But maybe there's something else behind this challenge. Maybe it's coin he's after. Who knows?
All right. We'll deal with him, sir.
I'm sure you will, Henry. God be with you.
唉，屌！又要自行，點解佢個 cam 冇 fast travel 㗎？佢頭先去執嘢嗰度唔整 fast travel 我都算。佢 cam 明明已經成日預人哋去㗎啦，都唔整 fast travel，冇搞錯。 人呢？
Look what I've got. You'll love. Good boy. That's my... Look what I've got. You'll love it.
Against all odds. 哦，就係爆呢啦！我等佢翻嚟喎，黐人線。
I'd been to see Sir Radzik.
So how did he take the news?
Well, he wasn't exactly happy about it.
I can well imagine. I wouldn't want the Zul's plundering my estates either. If I had any.
He wants us to carry on patrolling the area. There's nothing else for it.
We'll do that. But it will soon be too dark for patrolling, Henry. Come at first light.
Sure. I'll do that.
好，即係今日可以。
What is it, Jakey?
The stone wants to talk with you, if you can call it that. Probably about that ring.
What ring?
Ah, no one told you about it. The fellas call it the Ring of Bacchus. It's a kind of game we play. Kuno gave us this ring. It's just a worthless bauble. But when we're at the tavern, Kuno pays everything for the man who has the ring. So we steal the ring from each other and try to trick each other. Well, actually, just the others. They won't let me play. Kuno says I'm too young to get boozed up.
That sounds like a lot of fun. But I don't have the ring, so why does the stone want to see me?
He probably wants you to steal it from someone. Since you're new, the fellows will talk to you, and it won't be suspicious.
All right. I'll have a word with him. Jakey sent me to you. Something about a ring?
Mm-hmm.
I suppose you want me to get it from someone?
Mm-hmm.
Who has it? Does Dangler have it?
Mm-hmm.
All right. How should I get it? Hey, I want the Ring of Bacchus. I heard you have it.
So you come and ask me for it? Well, that's a novel approach.
Well, you don't just have to steal it from each other. Why not play for it?
No, I don't play dice. But we can duel for it.
All right. Why not?
I'll wager the ring, and you put up some groschen, all right?
Sure. I'll wager that.
That'll do it. Well, now it's something worth fighting for. So you better watch out.
200蚊喎，大佬，飲到你死嘅。如果你真係贏咗嘅話，
I'll slaughter you.
哎呀佢 OK 喎 ，OK 喎 ，OK 喎。
Cunt!
哎呀！ Fuck.
You can stop.
哎呀！早咗。
Your end is nigh.
始終都係靠推鳩人，好撚無恥嘅真係。
Oh, fair fight. Well, I don't like giving it up. Well, at least I won't get so plastered next time. Just watch out it doesn't get pinched.
I'll do that. Thanks. Can you tell me something about yourself?
What do you want to...
Why do they call you...
Because Kuno found me dangling on the end of a rope.
Ah, I see.
I wouldn't call it an execution exactly. At the time I was squire to the Lord of Buzitz. There was a proper night for you, full of ideals and honour. I looked up to him as a hero. Then in one skirmish he was killed, and the foe took me captive. They stood me on a shaky wooden cross with my hands tied behind my back and a noose around my neck. For amusement. Then they rode off laughing.
But how long were you stuck there?
I couldn't tell you. Hours, maybe days. In the end, everything started going black. I could feel the devil pulling me down by the legs.
Jesus! How on earth did you survive?
I didn't. When Kuno found me, he says I was dead as a doornail. They cut me down and took the rope off me. Then someone gave me a kick and I coughed and came back to life. Sort of.
I got the ring from Dangler. Yeah, well, I suppose there's not much more either of us can say about it. Yeah, thanks to you too.
咁早就瞓覺嘅，啊唔係喎，都成9點㗎咯喎。Henry 已經幾日冇食飯。已經幾日冇食飯，但係完全唔肚餓咯佢，真係唔知想點。
I've been to see Sir Radzik.
So how did...
Well, he wasn't exact.
I can well...
He wants to...
That makes sense. Sure. Mount up then.
經過埋 Tamberg， 仲要再向北。Tamberg 再向北應該冇城鎮嘅咯喎，我去到地圖嘅邊界啦已經。哇！好彩佢適時地整翻個夜晚啫。如果我朝頭早出，我行到嚟呢度都仲要係日頭，咁就犀利啊！真係。
Please, can we stop for a bit? My arse is aching, and I've such a thirst I could drink a moat dry.
Same here. What do you say, Chief?
Not to worry. We choose it soon. We'll spend the night there.
I heard they've got a peculiar priest there. They say he drinks like the devil himself.
There's nothing strange about that. Every other man of the cloth is a swill pot.
Or a lecher.
Or both.
會唔會俾人仆㗎？佢哋咁夜都仲唔收檔。
Quiet. Listen.
Wuchis 咁大個城會有咩事發生啊？
Please, please, sir, help me.
Don't worry, lass. Nothing to fear. We're with Sir Radzig, in the manner of speaking. What's the matter?
These brigands came. The menfolk fled and left us there. They started pillaging the place, drinking whatever they could find and smashing things. I ran off, but the other girls... You've got to save them. Please, I beg you.
Easy, lass. Drinking, you say?
Aye, sir. They rolled the casks into the courtyard and started swilling like pigs from a trough.
Well, as our old cook used to say, if you want to make a proper goulash, you should soak the meat in ale for a while to soften it first.
Ah, let them get well soaked, and then go and chop them up. Good thinking, Chief.
But what about the girls? Those men, they were...
Ah, I'm sure your friends won't be getting nothing they ain't had before.
Well, unless they be nuns.
Kuno, the girl's right. If we delay, her friends will pay the price for it.
I appreciate your advice, Henry. But it's caution that'll keep you alive, not chivalrous deeds.
You promised Sir Radzig you protect his fiefdom, and that means his subjects too.
Come on, it's not like their lives are in any real danger. Hagen's men just want a bit of fun.
A bit of fun? Are you fucking serious? You know very well, Kuno, how innocent girls can end up after a bit of fun with animals like that. Well, I, for one, am not going to sit back and let it happen, even if I have to creep in there myself and try to rescue them.
Oh, all right. It's not the smartest thing to do. But let's go and tackle those fuckers if that's how you want it.
Good. Thanks.
Right. We better try and save those girls from Hagen's brutes. Let's go!
Chivalrous Soul 唔好帶火把係嘛？啱嘅，啱嘅，啱嘅。
Who wants their back covered?
My right arm is stiff since last night. Cover that side for me.
It's all in the wrist, Dangler.
quarter what we'll do with the liquid loot we take from the boat.
Shit. I want to charge them with a terrifying war. We know more wine,
咦唔係喎，我又忘記咗嗰個交戰原則添。
What? Will I never?
哦，佢唔係 Wushes 嚟嘅喎，佢唔 exactly 係 Wushes，係我哋上次去揾阿 Timmy 嗰個濕鳩個濕鳩 windmill 嚟嘅啫喎。我上次同阿 Timmy 係咪好似係揾 Timmy 好似咪喺呢度啊？就係、
Hey, who are you? Who's there? God.
Hey, Henry. Fancy throwing some dice? Come and count some spots, Henry?
You'll have a better fight with me than with better. No whiskers to tickle your nose.
They left us some damn good booze here. And as my old man used to say, the fire of battle must be quenched. Of course, the only battle he was ever in was with Ma. But still, it fits. Anyway, I hope you'll drink with us.
Sure. Why look a gift horse in the mouth?
My words exactly. Me and the lads were just saying how we know nothing about you. Most of the folk around here have hardly been further than the village market. But you must have seen a thing or two.
That I have. I suppose you heard about the raising of Skalitz.
Aye, I heard. And Radzig told me you're from there. But that's probably not the kind of story to go with wine and good cheer.
Have you heard of Sir Hans Caper?
I heard his name mentioned in Colleen, in connection with some wench, as I recall. A young dandy, eh?
Yeah, that's him. He's going to inherit Ratai once he comes of age. I run some errands for him now and again. Well, once we were at the baths together, and his lordship wanted to seduce one of the bath maids.
Naturally, that's what the baths are for, among other things.
Yeah, but with Sir Hans, nothing is ever straightforward. First, I had to play strip dice.
That's good. Did you win?
I did, but I had to strip myself anyway to get into the tub. Only, no sooner had I done so, than his lordship demanded wine from the castle cellars, which is a long fucking way from there.
I reckon you're a man who can't resist a challenge.
If I'd been sober. I went all the way there and back in my undergarments, and no sooner was I back, than he sent me to pick flowers for the girl from the castle gardens.
It's starting to sound like a fairy tale with 3 wishes.
Well, actually, he probably did have a third wish, but he didn't get a chance to say it.
How's that?
Well, I got back only to find the girl's sweetheart, some guard called Arsenballs, well, that's what Sir Hans called him, trying to drown him in the bath.
Drown a nobleman over a wench. That's balls, all right.
Well, Sir Hans was naked and drunk, so he didn't look very noble. Anyway, I tackled this fella and saved Sir Hans from him. It could have all got out of hand, but it ended with only a few bruises. Sir Hans never got his way with the girl, though.
All that trouble for nothing. Tell us another.
Do you know Talmberg?
Oh, I do. It's that castle on the hill, not far from here.
That's right. Sir Divish is the lord there. You might have heard he was locked up in his own castle for 7 years by another lord he had some dispute with.
I remember hearing something about that. How did he get out?
His wife, Lady Stephanie, managed to get justice for him in the end, with the help of the provincial council.
Right. But I thought you were going to tell us something about yourself, Henry.
I'm getting there. It's to do with the young Lady Stephanie. She took a liking to me and asked me to help her get some things for her cousin's wedding, which I did. And she was very, very grateful.
So the lady was nice to you. That's a charming story. Not exactly bard material.
No, you don't get it, Kuno. She was very grateful.
What you... No. Never. You and the lady of the castle.
Yeah, it was a bit of a surprise for me, too.
Are you mad? Did it cross your mind what her husband could do?
No, I suppose. But I was caught up in the moment.
Jesus, Henry. Let me give you a word of advice. We're not from here, so it doesn't matter much. But I wouldn't go telling that story around these parts.
Of course not, don't worry.
Tell us another.
幾廿年前啲故事。
I was trying to track down these bandits who raided the Neuhof stud farm, and the trail led to Ujitz. I made the acquaintance of the parish priest there.
Oh, I've heard some stories about him. Apparently he's quite a character.
That's putting it mildly. But he does keep his word, and he sure knows how to drink.
A typical man of the cloth, eh?
I don't know about other priests, but Godwin can booze like a master. So we ended up in the local tavern. What can I tell you? Wine, women, and song, you know how it goes. Well, we lost track of time a little, and then the bailiff came barging in and tells us it's past curfew and we're to clear out.
Was he on his own?
No, he had some men with him. I'm not sure how many. It's all a little blurry. Anyway, we explained to him politely that we had no intention of ending our enjoyment. So, after a bit of discussion with the bailiff, we carried on. Next morning, Godwin was as green as a frog and hardly able to walk. And then he realised he had to say mass.
That's a show I'd like to see.
Well, he couldn't do it. So he got me to preach the sermon.
You? Preaching? You're joking.
Well, I did my best. Of course, I wasn't in great shape myself, so I'm not sure what the flock made of it.
My word, you're a dark horse. A nice story, but let's just drink.
哇！佢哋走晒，留低我喺度，有冇搞錯啊？我做幾耐啊？黐線嘅，我飲咗啲酒，然之後佢哋劈低我，戇鳩。 日光日白都有人攔路，唔係嘛？我今日遲咗開，但係都係要收工先，係因為買股票遲咗開。我哋聽日再見啦嚇，聽日應該唔會遲嘅。Race of the Century。再見啦，拜拜。